best as the Razorbacks have looked this season. And I think that there's even another gear, Hopefully play that well against Tennessee on the road when you get there, because Tennessee looked really good last night against Miami too.
Best I've seen Brazile look as in a Razorback uniform these last couple weeks. You hope he can stay healthy. You hope Big Z can. I think you're right, Phil. There's another gear if we got all our weapons. You got to think there'll be you have to adjust and adapt. As the season goes on, war of attrition. But yeah, if you don't have Boogie and Wagner and 3, there's a couple guys that if they go down, we're in trouble. But yeah, there's a couple guys you need 9 to be healthy, man. There was like a 4-minute period in the second half where he was just controlling the paint.
Doesn't it just feel like he's I can't say the key, but one of the most important.
He reminds me of Steven Adams. You remember the big New Zealander that played at Oklahoma City? Just big and just can do what just tough and physical and can kind of control it. And the moment's not too big for him. I like him, man. I think 9 if he can get right.
Michigan's going to win a lot of games in the Big Ten. Heck, they already won 2 games in the Big Ten. So
was it weird to see Juwan Howard sitting courtside? It was kind of weird, right? You're like, you just coached that team for 5 years. You're a Fab 5, but no love lost, I guess.
Oh, I guess not. Hey, they didn't really have a couple good years in a row, so I guess it made sense. How about the showing? Speaking of people courtside, how about the showing by Razorback fans at MSG? I didn't know many people were there, but when you heard the hog call, there were a lot of Razorback fans there, probably more so than any of the other fan bases. So. To me, it seems like the kind of thing you may be doing on an annual basis while Cal's the coach, because a lot of people headed out there. You played a great game. Looked like not only that you belong, but you belong in what is right now the toughest basketball conference in the SEC. There's all these other wins that all these other programs can point to out of conference, huge victories. Just look at what happened with Mizzou and Kansas just a few days ago. This is Arkansas's big win. This was their last chance to get one in the non-conference, to actually beat a Power 4, Power 5, Power 6, whatever we're going to call it, but a team that's going to make the tournament. This might be the only team they beat right now that makes the tournament. So it's a statement. It's a statement that this Arkansas team, I still feel, you look at the rest of the league, Matt, and people are talking ahead of Arkansas, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Alabama. And I think they're probably still putting Kentucky ahead of Arkansas just because of what the last 5 weeks have been like. But if we can take what we saw last night and project it forward a little bit, Hogs are just as good potentially as any of those teams.
Texas, Ole Miss got better, and Mississippi State got better. So, there's not a lot of easy W's in the SEC. It's definitely going to be if you can be what do you think, a shade above 500, that's a success. We talk about 10-2 to make the playoff 12, right? Like you're in. If you're above 500 in the SEC conference play, you're in the tournament. Don't you think if you can so it's kind of a goal to have, I think any team that's in the SEC that has an above 500 regular season record, they'll be in the tournament.
It'll be very interesting once we get back to the end of it, because not even about being at 500. What if you're just 2 games under? Honestly, with this tough, and depending on who those wins come against, I think they'll end up being an SEC team that has a sub-500 league record that gets in this year. That's how good this league is. But I also, Matt, it was just fun to turn on the television, watch an Arkansas sporting event, and not worry about who's leaving the team or the word transfer come out. Well, they said transfer because you got plenty of transfers on both teams there, but it wasn't. I just enjoyed taking my mind off of the wildness of college football right now and everything that we talked about yesterday. I don't even think we brought basketball up a little bit because it was game day, but it's all 3 days into the opening of the transfer portal that is dominating the conversation. So for me last night, part of it, yes, just getting a big win for the men's team and seeing Arkansas, coast to coast watch like that and looking as good as they did. But I would imagine our listeners have to view it the same way. It was just good to get your mind off of what right now has been an exodus out of the football team. But you also know there are players coming in at some point soon. Offers are going out. Visits are being planned.
It's always nice to win. Aesthetically, it was a fun game to watch. Like you said, 2 talented teams. It would not surprise. The talent Michigan has, To be able to hit 11, I know you talk, if you score on 11 straight drives or whatever, 10 straight drives to start the season, that was against UAPB. But when you're playing a real team and you make 11 strate field goals,
who does that?
You're good. Yeah.
It was heat check after heat check after heat check for a while. And it's at some point I felt like somebody had to do the Michael Jordan shrug of the shoulders. Like, I don't know. It just keeps going in. And it stopped going in at some point. But, that's one aspect to think about here. Arkansas beat a team that shot 58% from the field yesterday. You don't see a lot of wins when your opponent shoots 58%. So, they D'd up when they needed to late in the second half. But you did look like the runs that they needed to make going into halftime, coming out of halftime, might have gassed them a little bit. But how about the block by Brazil at the end? Because that was a game-saving play.
Well, you got to make up for it. He's too good of a shooter to go 0 for 2 from the foul line. He made up for it. That's kind of one of those.
And then got the opportunity to nail two afterwards.
And made both of them back, exactly. I was proud of Brazil. I thought, like I said, this is the best I've seen him look. Just kind of like has a smile on his face and kind of springy and bouncing around. Maybe this is the healthiest he's been in a while.
And hustling. Like it matters to him. That stood out too, because even like a month ago, and maybe it was the ankle, you could even see a ball that he didn't chase going out of bounds, and Cal's looking at him like, "What are we doing here?" That's not the feeling from yesterday. So he's 100%. Adu, I don't think is at 100%, but he's certainly on his way there. I thought you'd get a better game from Nelly Davis. Didn't shoot that well. Defended okay. Defended when you needed him to. But Flan's the real thing. Wagner, big fan of him. And if Edu Thero can go out there and play 22 minutes, shoot 6 out of 9, 13 points, when it looked like he was sick, this is a team of guys who I think are pretty tough. I just don't think he really had a chance to see it in the last 5 weeks. He had a chance to see it last night. And only 4 games now until you open the SEC season against Tennessee. How about that? And how about halftime today on Wednesday? Fisherman Clay Henry joins us at 12 noon for a couple of hours. We'll get all of Clay's thoughts on what's going on with the football program, with the outs. I was going to say the ins and the outs. Right now, there aren't really many ins, but who knows? Because over the last couple of days, we have, we don't break the news. We just sort of relay it to you when we find out. So who knows what'll happen over the next 2 hours, 45-ish minutes on halftime. When anything breaks, we'll pass it on to you as well. Grant Hall joins halftime in just a minute, so stay with us.
Remember the good old days when everybody had to stay 6 feet apart from everybody and kind of enjoyed your personal space?
This is halftime.
It's like Clark Kent. This guy is dominating offensively. Indeed, he's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what college football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Todd Richardson here at Wheeler Power Sports as we gear up for Christmas. Simon, you're the guy to come see.
We have new inventory in stock such as the Kawasaki Mule 4010, Kawasaki KX 450 SR, KO S70, Polaris Ranger Crew XP 1000 North Star and Camo, and the Polaris Sportsman 570 Hunting Edition. Give us a call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith, Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Over the river and through the woods, to Salisaw we go. Mock Legal Solutions is opening a second location to serve our Eastern Oklahoma clients. 105 East Chickasaw. For divorce and custody, let us give you the Christmas gift of a new start. And for personal injury, we will get you a settlement check when Grandma gets run over by that reindeer. 918-238-2363. Or check out our website at mocklegalsolutions.com. Free intakes and payment plans available. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the Mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Wednesday morning. I almost said it was Tuesday morning. I'm completely screwed up still. I still don't know what day it is. Thanksgiving screwed me up. Don't ask me once we get to Christmas time and all that. Once we get to January, I'll know what day it is. But because Grant Hall got a hold of me this morning and asked if 11:15 was all right, I was like, that means it's Wednesday. So we got Grant Hall right now. What's up, Grant? How are you?
Well, I'm fine. And how much fun was that last night? I was thinking that that Jimmy V thing has almost become like a spiritual holiday in sports, and for Arkansas to be a big part of that for several hours, even including, like the warm-ups, the leisurely lead up to the game, and all the fun that Scott Van Pelt and Jay Billis had with Calipari after the game. And what a wild roller coaster ride that thing was. But bless Trevin Brazil's heart for after missing the 2 free throws, making the great block and catching it like Bill Russell used to do, and then playing well after that. So great win for Arkansas. And, Bob Holt would have loved being there and being part of the whole thing.
Yeah, he certainly would have. It was good to get your mind off of the transfer portal with football and everything. Like, I know everybody, you would have had your mind off it during the game, be down by 14 in the first half. Some people might have been thinking, maybe I'm going to turn this off and go to sleep and try to forget about Arkansas athletics for a day or so. But I think that's what we needed. Something good to not rally around, but just something that felt really good, because the last couple of days really have not.
Yeah, you get whiplash following that Braylon Russell thing. But, even yesterday, Phil, the luncheon up here that Mike Neighbors had at the Catfish Hole, overflow crowd, that was a lot of fun. I think Mike feels good about these next 4 games that Arkansas is going to play leading into the SEC. He's got Phoenix Stoughton coming back on Sunday. And I was talking to Sasha Goforth about her. She thinks she's really can help. She's in shape, and can work right into this lineup. So who knows? Maybe this Arkansas women's team can win a few more than people thought this year.
Grant, what's your initial reaction to the college football playoff, and do you see it how the committee sees it? Do you think it's Oregon's to lose? Or who do you have as the favorite?
Well, I like Oregon too. Yeah, Matt, but I think I agree with everybody who's been saying this week that it's kind of a broken model already. I mean, I don't know who came up with this 12-team thing and the buys. I mean, they don't do that in basketball, as Jay Billis was pointing out last night. It's almost as if they kind of mess it up a little bit just so that the outcry will immediately be to go to 16 teams. And if they did that this year, you'd probably have 3 more SEC teams in there with Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Alabama, and maybe Miami, and there would be your 16. Am I missing somebody? So, I think that'll happen, but I'm not necessarily saying that's a good thing. I mean, these guys are having to play an awful lot of football, and the problem is, like in the SEC, when you beat each other up all year, and then Georgia is down a quarterback now, and that's going to be really hard for them to work their way through this, don't you think, Matt and Phil, with a second-team quarterback?
Well, in a way, what it does on offense is you kind of go back to the things you have confidence with, and you try not to outthink the room. I think Sarkisian gets in trouble a little bit that on the Texas side, but Kirby, so Georgia, they're so talented. It's almost it's kind of like that Ohio State effect. The next guy up, but you're really not asking the quarterback he doesn't have to try to play above himself because you're really just relying. I mean, I'd never thought Carson Beck's going to the NFL anyways. You're just getting the ball to your athletes.
Yeah, and the way this thing is set up too, like Texas, as Sark pointed out the other day, is third, and yet they're fifth in this, and so they got to play this extra game against Clemson, right? So you by giving buys just kind of randomly, I mean, would people have given Boise State a bye if it were seeded, differently? I'm not sure who came up with this, but right now it looks like it's got holes in it.
Well, it's got holes in it, and the feeling is that all of the way we've been deciding college football championships for decades has had holes in it. That's why we are where we are. But I don't need to go through all of history and everything that they've gone to, but it's just like you said, that maybe adding on another 2, maybe adding on another 4, maybe changing the way we seed, maybe changing the way you make up the committee. The only thing I know about this is that's different now from when we went to the BCS and went to the first college football playoff, is that some leagues have more power than others now. That wasn't the case back then. So this is more about what the SEC and Big Ten want to do, because the television networks kind of follow them, or maybe it's the other way around. But that to me is a major difference here. It's not really what college football wants to do. It's what the power leagues, the 2 leagues, want to do.
Well, as long ago as when Lou Holtz was coaching at Arkansas, and Arkansas beat Oklahoma severely in the Orange Bowl, he was saying why don't they go to a 4-team playoff after the bowls? And you were thinking, well, will there be rematches and so forth? But when they go to 16, then teams 17 through 20 will squawk, and I guess that'll create all the controversy that maybe they want by doing this. Just you can't deny there's been a lot of discussion about college football in the last couple of weeks.
Well, we're in an era of expansion of the championships too. I mean, the women added a first 4, the men's tournament, even the women's, they're talking about going to 72 or more than that, or more than 100 teams. So why shouldn't college football follow that in that case? I guess the answer is college football is just sort of separate from everything else.
Well, it is, and it drives everything, the money and everything, and so it gets a lot of attention.
The situation with Russell that you alluded to yesterday, goes in the portal, pulls his name out of the portal. This is strictly then about money, right? If somebody goes into the portal and then take their name out, it's almost to me a reverse of the situation with Braun from last Friday. It'd be like, well, do you know what it is you want to do with yourself, or is this just a ploy to show your coach, I mean what I said, then I'm going to go look for somewhere else if you don't give me my demand?
Yeah, it reminds me of really, in a way, of coaching hunts we've seen through the years and covered. And, the negotiation is fluid. And so you get, like in one case yesterday, two very good reporters reporting two different things because probably each thing was true at a certain time, and then it ends up changing and kind of in the way that that coaching searches did and do sometimes. Now it's happening with athletes because there's so much money involved. Mike Irwin keeps telling me that when they get this revenue sharing thing figured out, it's going to really be helpful, and maybe it won't be quite such a wild, wild west type of thing.
Wow, maybe it won't be a wild, wild west, but they'll still be cheating. That's the thing, I mean, above board, everything should be equal and all that, and in your league, and you got to prove that the NIL money is not no-show jobs and all that, but it just sends the cheating underground. It's just not above the table as much as it feels like it is now. But it's still an opaque system now. We don't know what people are being paid.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, guys, I want to mention quickly, if I can, something, and you probably have all talked about this too, but on Friday from 2 to 4, there will be a memorial service for Bob Holt, and I think 2 to 3 will be, people just talking among themselves, and then 3 to 4. I know that, like Tom Murphy was telling me yesterday, that Wally is trying to limit the talks to 3 minutes each. And, of course, good luck with that. And, by the way, they were hoping that Nolan Richardson could – I don't know if Nolan will be able to go. That would be great. Meanwhile, the other day I got some guys at the basketball game to write tribute. We didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to Bob, and so we wrote tributes. And I'm doing this for the sisters, and for his family. But it worked out amazingly. And yesterday I went to Office Depot to get these things laminated. They look, and I think they're going to be maybe on display there in the church on Friday. But the woman who helped me at Office Depot was Jada Carroll, and she's the daughter of Batman Carroll, who lettered at Arkansas from 01 to 03 when she wasn't even born then, And of course, he was a great track athlete and football player. But that was fun meeting her there yesterday. She was very helpful, and I went around just yesterday, and I can tell you that Dave Van Horn and Matt Hobbs, Thompson, the track coaches, Lance Harder, Chris Johnson. I think Coach Bucknam was out of town, but Doug Case and Brian Compton, who wrote an amazingly nice thing, and that I think now the thing is, it's penmanship. It's cursive writing. Remember when we did that? Remember when kids learned to do that at school? And so some of it is not maybe the most legible. I know Coach DeBryan struggled, with his, but and I did. But I think it just, when you read all these heartfelt, and every single case, like during the basketball game the other day, every single sports writer stopped what he was doing, even with a game going on, to write these loving tributes to Bob Holt. So I'm pleased with how it came out.
That's great. Well, we'll see you Friday at the service then, Grant. Thanks for coming on. Always appreciate your time.
Okay, guys. See you.
It's Grant Hall. He's with us each Wednesday on Halftime. I can write my name in cursive, but that's about it. That is pretty much it. Might as well just write left-handed if I've got to write something in cursive right-handed. You're not going to be able to read it. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on Halftime. Hey, don't forget about Joe's Grilling Cantina. They got great specials today. Nacho Average Wednesday, $1 off all nachos. That includes the new 3 cheese carnita nachos, plus $1 off all beers, draft or bottles. Get over for the Army-Navy game on Saturday and for college football playoff games the following weekend. They always have great specials on beers and margaritas, $2 Busch Light drafts during game days at Joe's Grilling Cantina, 74th Street, Fort Smith, right across from Harps, and online at joesfortsmith.com. We'll break. Come back with more Halftime in just a moment.
Coverage is presented by Futrall Marine, your duckboat authority, proudly powered by Tohatsu Outboards. Tohatsu Outboards, feel the wind. Log on to futrallmarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
It's been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. Welcome to
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hitting the road this summer? Do what truck drivers do. Bring plenty of 5-Hour Energy. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get where you're going and do everything you want to do when you get there. It's small, light, and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips,
Are we there yet?
safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Come join ESPN and Trailer Honda from 11 to 2 this Saturday for a special day of fundraising for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Center. Come join us for cookies and Dr. Peppers and help collect diapers, baby bottles, formula, or even cash as we try to win the friendly competition against Road Chevrolet. All donations are for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Care Center here in Fort Smith. All donations are appreciated. See you Saturday from 11 to 2 at Trailer Honda.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Some of these things are starting to come together for other teams around the country. Not everybody. I mean, you've only really had 3 days that anybody can announce any kind of commitment to another college football team. But I saw where Duke's starting quarterback, Malik Murphy, if you remember him, he was at Texas before, helped Duke to a 9-3 record there in the Gator Bowl against Ole Miss. But he won't play in the bowl because he's transferring out somewhere else. And now Duke gets the top-rated player in the transfer portal rankings according to ESPN, former Tulane quarterback Darian Mensah. So it's just kind of, it's not a trade. It feels a little bit like it, but some of these things are starting to come in a little bit piecemeal. 877-377-6963. Big T's giving us a call in BB. What's up, Big T? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? Good to talk to you guys.
Oh, we appreciate the phone
Got
call.
to call
What
me
you got?
about, yeah. So I'm speaking for the Hawk Nation out there. So proud of them guys last night, the way they fought back. But just forget the win for a second. Just the way they ran their offense, the crisp screen, the hustle, just them working together as a team. We have not seen that in 5-6 years for them to actually see the progression that they made over the last 5 games. You can see the Cal offense coming together, what he's wanting out of them. Proud of them guys. Can't say enough about it. Just want to give a shout out to them, and I'll hang up and listen. Appreciate you guys.
All right, appreciate the phone call, Big T. Thanks very much. It did look much more, I guess the word could be, connected in this last game.
It's the best I've seen Boogie look as well. Just in control. He was the first to, like, if a loose ball in his area, he's the first to it. You know, he's
springy.
Well, if he was 6'4", he's a lottery pick. He's 5'11". That's the thing that. Is he talented? Oh my goodness, he's uber talented. He's got talent oozing out of his ears. He's just a little bitty thing, but I love the fact that he was first to a lot of loose balls. He's tough. He's going to be better, man. You look up in 60 days, he'll be like an all freshman, all American.
Yeah, I was watching some of the Tennessee-Miami game early, and I'm watching a team that was running an offense to perfection for a while there. Just crisp passes, a lot of movement, and I mean, you didn't see that from Arkansas to start the game. And they have a little bit of a history of the slow starts here this season, but again, I would anticipate that kind of thing gets cleaned up as the guys play together a little bit more. But once they got going, it was crisp. They ran that offense really well, got good shots, and connected on them. It was just a fun game to watch, especially the end-to-end runs. Just fast break. Somebody grabs a rebound, throw it down the floor. The next thing you know, you get Brazil throwing down a tomahawk dunk, go down the other way really quickly. It was just a crisp, fun basketball game. You'd have been happy if they'd have won like 58-57, but it was quite a bit more exciting than that.
Shoot, with number 21, number 3, number 2, if you get TB4 going well, you don't want to get in a track meet with this team. That's exactly what this team wants to get into. Just a game of runs, track meet, and go and be athletic. There's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to be more athletic than this Arkansas Razorback team.
Mm-hmm. I do. I wonder where Boogie grows to. They list him at 6'2" on the roster.
Look at him standing next to people out there. We all know he's not 6'2". I wonder if he's 6 foot. I really do. He might be 6 foot.
I remember thinking that I brought it up yesterday. I thought that it might be a game where Nelly.
He made a
kinda
big play at the
pops.
end of the game that took it to the hoop and got the 3-point old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm. It's just he wasn't, I don't think he wasn't looking to shoot very much. And as good as the shot looked the last 2-3 games, it didn't look like that this next time, this last game. But the guy that showed out, and he was home. It was Boogie. I mean, he's
Best
from the
game I've
Bronx,
seen him play. That's right.
just north of Manhattan. I think I heard Chuck say something
He
about
forced that
70
one
to
late
80 tickets.
Do you see the one late he forced? That would have been he was kind of off balance, and he kind of cleared out, and he threw up an air ball. But I like the fact that his mentality, was like, hey, it's on me. I'm going to go get it. And he was playing good. And he is kind of a pass first guard. He gets the offense going. He wants to get his team. He's not selfish. That's one thing with point guards. That was one of my thing with Khalif Battle last year is he just plays selfish a little bit. And it's like, man, trust your teammates. And with this type of team, man, I'd be trusting my teammates all I could. I think we're are you back in? No, we can't hear Phil Elson. So we've been having some connection issues. Unit, what'd you think what'd you think of the match, the basketball game last night?
Man, it was really exciting, and it was truly a game of runs, man. It was just when Michigan started pulling away early, I was a little worried about that, obviously, but
when they made 11 in a row.
Yeah. When they were making all those shots and then, Arkansas kind of went on there. They cut it to 4.5, which was huge, and it felt like Arkansas was going to be in it till the end.
There is one thing, Unit, that we have to get some type of clarity or some type of easier way. These officials crack me up towards the end of a basketball game. They act like they don't know how to call a call. They act like, we got to reset everything. We got to go back and it's like, oh my good, like the flow of the game gets so bad the last 2 minutes. Like, who cares if you have a timeout left? You're going to get 7 timeouts during because they're just the officials don't want to make it. It's so bad. Like if you're going to do that, at least have somebody else over there that can be an official that can just be looking at it and tell you, hey, this is it and let's go. But there were 17 timeouts. The last 2 minutes I think took 37 minutes to play.
Yeah, and you had those 2 reviews, and
there were 7 reviews, man.
Yeah,
they kept going back and forth, and then they'd call a timeout, another one call a time. It was like, man, how do you get any rhythm the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think
you worked up nearly as much as Billis was on the telecast about it.
He
Billis sounded pissed about it.
Yeah, he had somewhere to be.
I had a post game show to do, and I don't know what happened with that. That was it was funny.
That's another story. But Billis had called 2 games at that point. I think maybe he was just tired.
I think everybody was tired. Yeah, it's midnight.
Mm-hmm. It was a long day, but I agree with you too. It's like, and I agree with the way Billis put it. We've been going by your call, you're off your human eyes, not the replay for the first 38 minutes of the game. Now in these last 2 minutes, we got to slow things down to where it's got the pace of an NBA final 5 minutes that it'll take practically an entire game to get through. I'm with you on that. Absolutely with you on that. Mark in Springdale texted in, Matt. No, it wasn't Mark in Springdale. It was Dr. Tyler in Fayetteville. I guess Mark went by what he saw on the website, which is what I saw too. I haven't stood next to Boogie yet. Maybe at some point when I'm setting up for the women's broadcast, I'll be able to measure myself because I'm like 5'8".
You see him when he goes and talks to Coach Cal? So that's where my measuring stick is. When I see him over on the sideline, he's over there. He's like 2 inches taller than Coach Cal. Like he's.
Well, Dr. Tyler says he's 6'1". He stood next to him at a home game recently, and he thinks he's 5'11".
I think he's hey, the dude is uber talented. He really is. It's just how many times do they take a 6-footer in the lottery? You just don't see a lot of 6-foot guys. That doesn't mean he can't play in the NBA. I think he can. It's who are you going to guard? You got to be elite at so many things when you're undersized like that.
He's so quick.
Oh, he's so quick.
I just feel like he'll get lost on the floor by the defense, and his body control is amazing. Just to see him, I don't remember the player it was, but he drives, he pulls up about 10 feet away. Instead of leaping straight up, leaps to his left
and gets the
creates
N1
contact, gets the end. It was. I mean, I think the kid knows what he's doing. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was getting at early in the first segment. Is his reaction time, his awareness to the loose ball. If it's a loose ball and he's around, he's the first one to it. Like to react to everything that's going on. It's like he sees the game a move ahead. And his vision's pretty good, man, when it comes to passing the ball. And he had that one, he went down there, spun around, then sees 9 coming back and gets a dunk late in the game. I think there was about 2 minutes left. Man, he's fun to watch.
I'm having so much more fun talking about a game. Actually talking about a game we saw last night than, trying to get in athletes' minds and why are you making this decision? What is it? Is it money? Is it coaches? Is it direction of program and all of that stuff? I'm having so much more fun talking about this game with Michigan. Can we do this again tomorrow? Doesn't really last that much longer. A football game lasts longer than a basketball game does, unfortunately. 877-377-6963. We'll come back. Got a phone call right after the break, so stay with us on halftime.
The President of the United States only gets 4 years. And we're giving Sam Pittman 6 years? Well, there you go.
This is halftime.
Are you ready to stay warm, save money, and be in control of your energy bills this year? Arkansas Oklahoma Gas has you covered. We care about you and your energy needs. That's why we want to share knowledge and tools to weatherproof your wallet and keep your home cozy. Wondering about ways to help save on your natural gas bill? Looking for payment options? Interested in simple DIY measures to help save energy? We've got you. Visit AOGC.com/winner today and discover resources and information designed to help you save, stay warm, and stay informed.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Call the Hogs with Razorback women's basketball this season for exciting matchups inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, Bud Walton Arena.
All the changes we've had, the one thing that stayed really same is I'm going to coach them as hard as I'm going to love them.
Experience great family fun and entertainment by cheering on the Hogs along with the Hog Wild Band, cheerleaders, dance team, and mascot.
Carly inside, up with the ball, fouled, and one.
Tickets start at just $5 at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
If you're interested in continuing your involvement in high school athletics and want to make some extra money, what better way to do so than by becoming an official? For information on how you can give back to student athletes in Arkansas, please contact us at 501-955-2500. Again, that's 501-955-2500. The Arkansas Activities Association is looking for sports officials, and you may be the answer.
Unto us a child is given, and his name shall be Wonderful, Counselor, Emmanuel, God with us. Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. From all of our families here at Blaylock, we would like to wish you and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby, there's nobody but you. Charms to revel where the wind blows.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Back on halftime, wrapping up our first hour here. 877-377-6963. We'll have Clay Henry coming on in about 9 minutes till the very end of the show. And, Matt, Belichick hasn't taken the job at North Carolina yet. I think an offer is out there for him, but I think he's still kind of considering it. I still don't really believe that this is a thing that's going to happen. I still think he's looking at the NFL, but I'm interested to see. I would like to see this 400-page document of how Belichick thinks you should put together a college football program. Be a really long read. Might take a little bit of time to get through, but it'd be interesting to see his thoughts on it.
I mean, I think he speaks the language of a 23-year-old. I think he knows how to speak that language, so he might be able to.
Is it the same language to that 23-year-old as to a football player?
I don't know how these 23-year-old thinks, but he knows how to talk to the youth still. See, I mean, he's a good recruiter. Look at him go, man. Look at him go.
Charlie, Charlie's here with us now. Charlie, do you think Belichick's really going to take this job?
You know, Phil, I've decided with anything to do with anyone, I have no idea.
That's actually a great way to look at it. That's well done.
I mean, it's like when you're talking about these kids. I mean, it's like Matt said. I mean, you know, I have no idea. You know, with Belichick, I mean, for him you're saying he drew up this 400-page document?
Apparently, he wrote up a 400-page document and gave it to the North Carolina chancellor. At least that's what the report was.
Would you do that if you weren't somewhat interested, though? I don't know. Would I come up? I can't even write a 10-page document on something I'm interested in, and I'm sure not going to do 400 pages if I didn't have a little.
I mean, look, you write something up that's 400 pages either for a job you have or you're publishing something. I'll say this, like I know the St. Louis Cardinals used to have a book about the Cardinal Way that you always heard about for years. I don't think they do it that way anymore, but they did. They had an actual sort of an organizational Bible. Might have been a little bit overdone as to what it was, but they did have. I've seen the document before, so maybe that's what this is in Belichick's case.
True, and he's probably it's still the Patriot way, but he's just adding stuff to it with college in there or whatever. He's still probably similar to that. But I just want to say last night, what a win, and I thought about, Matt, the action that they were guarding defensively, and I brought this up a couple of times already, but, like, how many teams do you think across the country are going to run a 4-5, 5-4 pick and roll against you, spread you out, and play a 5-out offense like that? You're not going to go against many teams that can do that, and they got both of those 7-footers, man. I mean, one of them in particular, dude from Yale, dude can play, okay? He can handle the basketball. He can play make. He reminds me like of a young Joe Ingles or something. Like just high basketball IQ. I mean, ability to pass. I mean, you can run your offense through them. And I'm telling you guys right now. I've never heard the
term, Charlie, the word they used yesterday. I remember hearing this because I remember hearing, you still hear this, point forward. I'd never heard of a point center. Billis referred to him as like a point center. That was a new one.
Yeah, I mean, well, you think about it's kind of like Jokic is. He's kind of like a point center almost. So, and you just don't have many of them. And not many teams are going to do that. Big Ten, look out, because you're going to have a really hard time beating that team. Arkansas got a definite quad one win last night, and it will stick. And that was as hard-fought as it could be, considering the situation they're in. And that might be the best game TB has played all around since he got hurt the first time. I mean, he was into it. He was playing his butt off. I mean, I was worried when he got knocked down on the free throw. I thought he was hurt again. Every time he falls, I worry. But Yeah, man, just a huge win and a confidence builder for this team. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think if you can handle a team that's got two bigs that play the way that Golden and Wolf do, you'll have a chance against just about anybody. You know, if I saw the way that Michigan played yesterday, they could have beaten just about any team in the country the way they played offensively. So to me, that means Arkansas probably, Matt, can do the same thing.
I mean, Phil, that's a team that you're going to have to beat if you want to win a national title, if you want to make a Final Four. There's about, 20 teams like that. You know, you mentioned 7 of them in the SEC, the Gonzaga, Michigan. I mean, you kind of look around. There's about a couple teams that have players that you're going to have to beat a team like that if you want to, cut down the nets in March. I guess it would be in April.
First big time win, really, for the team this year. And you can't count the exhibition win over Kansas, just like you can't count the exhibition win over Purdue last season. Just hope it's not relevant to the Duke win from last year, and I don't think it is. The one and only Hall of Famer, Clay Henry, joins us for the rest of the show once we come back after the top of the hour break. 877-377-6963 is our number, and we will be right back.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The holiday season can be stressful. Luckily, Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor has everything you need for this time of year. Crowded homes, annoying relatives call for peppermint schnapps, or maybe you're just a typical brown water guy. It really doesn't matter, because Eastside Liquor can take care of everything you need. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith with a convenient drive-thru. And you can call them 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Ty Richardson, we're at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. I'm with Simon Wheeler. Simon, almost Christmas time. What you got for us this month?
Holiday season's here, and we have youth ATVs in stock, such as the Kawasaki KFX 50 and 90, Outlaw 70 and 110, and KO Fox 70s and Bull 110s. If you have any questions, call or text us at 479-783-5822.
901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. It'll be quite breezy today with northwesterly winds 15 to 30 miles per hour. Mainly clear. A cold one tonight, overnight low in the upper 20s. Back to sunshine, a high in the low to mid 50s on Thursday and Friday. Chance of showers back in the 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com. We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. Halftime continues 1 minute after 12 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones will be bringing on the legendary one and only Hall of Famer Clay Henry in just a moment. But, Matt, I'd be going into this 400-page document that Bill Belichick apparently handed over to the North Carolina chancellor. Hogwild, who's one of our avid listeners and texters, says he is a working screenwriter, does original scripts and rewrites. He asked, you know how long it takes to write 400 pages? Now, I don't know the length of these pages, how big the pages were, if it's on more like a half pad or a full pad. It was probably typed out, so you can put it on whatever font it is. That's a lot. I do like Seth and Roger's idea here. He thinks that at least 25 pages of the document are a sizzling guide on Amazon for his hoodie selection. It's a lot in 400 pages. I just wonder what's in there.
I didn't know you could wear a hoodie so many different ways. I mean, you can layer them. You can cut the sleeves off. You cut the hood off.
You can cut the little neck part off too.
So yeah, make a little V-neck type 70s, like you're at Laguna Beach doing some pull-ups or something. Yeah, Gold's
Hey,
Gym.
hoodies are in with the kids. I mean, my kids wear hoodies to school every single day. What's to say that the trend didn't really start with Bill Belichick? Of course, he is the hoodie, so I guess so. Let's go to Clay, the one and only Hall of Famer, former publisher and editor of Hogs Illustrated. You can read him now, of course, at Whole Hog Sports and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Happy Wednesday, Clay. It's good to have you on today. How you been?
I'm doing great. I got some hoodies. I got some Orvis hoodies. I've got a Sitka hoodie. I've got black. I've got an ESPN Arkansas hoodie.
Clay, I don't hate to say it, but me and you dress real similar, man. I saw you out there
Flannels?
I saw you out there at the when we were in we went up and stayed at Tommy's spot up there, and we had to go to that grocery store, and
Allen's,
and I had to go do a thing like that next week up there, like it be in front of people, and Clay's sitting there, and it's kind of like, well, what are you going to wear? And I was kind of looked at Clay, I was like, kind of what Clay has on right now, just about like that.
I think you'd like the hoodie to not just cover the back of your head. I think you'd like it to cover the front of your face.
There you go. There you go.
We've got a social event to go to Saturday at ASU Mountain Home. My daughter is in charge of advancement at the college, the university, and they have a patrons wine party, and then a big Christmas gala. It's in the theme of a radio show, but I guess it's a musical play or whatever. And so, Becca is telling Jean Ann, like, what to wear. She's going to wear slacks with a Christoph sweater, and then a sports jacket, a nice red sports jacket. And so, what am I going to wear? I'm going camo, man.
All right, so let me ask you what this means, because we've got the Bob Holt service Friday at Cross
Yes.
Church, and the invitation says football attire rules.
Well,
So
like
what
what you would
exactly-
wear
it says
to
no
what
ties
you would
allowed.
wear
So
to the press box.
what I would wear to the, which means you shouldn't be wearing Razorback gear if you're covering the team, but if you're on the broadcast team, it's okay. So it's all right if I wear. If I wear what I wear to a game, that means I got to put like khakis on. I
So,
hate wearing khakis.
Think of it in this terms. What would Bob want you to wear? Anything.
He'd want you to wear whatever was
Anything.
comfortable for you.
Anything. Yeah, just nice and loose, whatever. Yeah, just Bob dressed fine. There's a picture of my dad and Bob together in the press box at the 1990 Cotton Bowl, after the 89 season, obviously. And they both got ties on. And that's the way press box attire was forever and ever. You know, you wore a white shirt and you wore a tie, probably a black, maybe with some lines in it. But it was, you wore a tie at the press box. Seems like maybe that was required in 78, 79 when I went to the Tulsa World. So press box attire has changed dramatically. And in August, September, you could probably wear shorts in the press box.
Mm-hmm. Summer I worked for the Pirates. Well, not a summer, it was a whole season, 96 in the press box, and really just when the team was on the road too, I was working for media relations. That's the last time that I would have to wear a tie to game days. I'm so thankful for that. Yeah, and of course back then that would have been 96, so I was 19 years old. I wasn't really very good at tying a tie or choosing one to go with a shirt.
I'm still not.
Yeah, it was interesting, some of the things I would wear. Still got some photos of those things. Like that photo still looks to hurt at because of the clash of colors and all of that. Well, we can get into to Bob's service later on, because that's a big deal for us Friday. We've got the Christmas party, so we don't have a show, no halftime on Friday. That makes us stand alone from everybody else. Chuck and Bo will be on the air. Morning Rush will be on the air. Ruskin and Zach will be on the air, but no halftime. So we just get to eat and enjoy the mirth and the merriment and the togetherness.
That's Tommy has, I guess it's would have been 2 or 3 years. He puts on a heck of a. I mean, I'm driving. If I was, I mean, I have the service to go to, but even if it wasn't a service, I'm coming to that Christmas party.
The only thing that matters right now, as far as I'm concerned, is that Matt Jones deserves some great golf balls for what happened at last year's Christmas
Man,
party.
that was funny.
Did somebody
right there,
steal
huh?
your?
That's your boy. That's your boy Tommy C. right there, man. You would think about you'd keep your people happy, and then just took them right from under me.
He did that
exactly
to you?
right.
You see how he does me? I think I got a cold coming on tomorrow. I think it might.
All of a sudden, your voice sounds like mine does right now.
I'll be at work on it.
You got a tiny little frog in the back there, and for some reason, Matt's not feeling very good all of a sudden on Friday already, but I wouldn't blame you. That's right. Yeah, he had his birthday like 2 weeks before that. Everybody chips in, gets him a gift and all that stuff, and then he steals Matt's. And it's not a dirty Santa, but it's sort of like that.
Hey, I see how it is.
It is how it is.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that the two of you guys are so interested in
Hey,
golf, because if it was me, I would literally hand them to you on a silver platter.
I know. The last year before, what was I doing? I was like, hey, Chuck, I'm splitting it up with people, and just trying to, it's just my nature to be more giving. And then Tommy just comes up and takes them, and then I don't even see a golf.
I was at the Ashcraft family Christmas party, my wife's family, in Cabot last Saturday. And we had Dirty Santa. Everybody brought, and it's supposed to be a really inexpensive gift, but it's gotten out of hand. One of the gifts was a bidet.
So my sister wanted to buy my parents one of those for an anniversary gift. And I'm thinking to myself, we're not at that point here. My sister's 44. We're not at that point where we are buying something for our parents to wash their behinds with as an anniversary gift, are we?
Yes.
Like I don't think that should be a gift from the husband to the wife or vice versa, not from kids to parents.
So the first person that opened it, I think they thought it was a sex toy, and they looked at it. And
Maybe
it's
it
like,
is.
If you're using it right.
Well, whatever. But it's like they were upset, the husband and wife. It was like, who would bring this? And the next thing you know, some of the younger guys, they were stealing it. There's one guy that just had shoulder surgery, and he wanted it. It's like his right hand is not in use right now because of his shoulder surgery.
That Sonic ice maker you got, that was pretty sick. And then what did Chuck Nasty get? He got a blow dryer last year.
Yeah, a blow dryer. I think that was passed on to one of the ladies.
That's about as good as me getting the set of
is.
power tools with the
It
replicating
is.
saw. I'm not going to get any usage out of that either.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You still have that, don't you?
It's in my little storage unit over here. Yeah. That's right. I haven't even. I opened it up once just to look at one of the tools, just to see what these things look like. This is 3 years ago, for crying out.
There's tools that you don't know what to do with, aren't there?
I'm afraid of even looking at them because I think I'll get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I was told by JT, one of our dedicated listeners, that I could cut my arm off with the replicating saw.
You sure
so
can.
looking at this thing probably threatens my eyesight.
Yeah. I mean, Civil War doctors, they would have loved those.
It's like a gun safety class almost. If nobody's taught you the proper way to use that stuff, don't mess with it. Yeah, you don't want to hurt yourself.
Not supposed to, grab one of these things and say, "What does this red button do?" I still can't get off the bidet thing. It's like you can try target practice with that. That'd just be a lot more fun.
I didn't bring it. It wasn't me. I mean, and
Really?
I got dirty looks like you brought that, didn't you?
You got to bring more than one. I mean, whether they're going on a vacation, they got to have that thing with them for crying out loud.
I brought $high fishing gloves. Yeah, that actually have fingertips that work on your smartphone. I mean, they're high tech fishing gloves.
877-377-6963. What did I call the thing, JT? He says reciprocating saw. I don't even know the real name of it. I obviously have no idea what I.
We got the idea of it.
I thought I would put it on eBay and make $250, $300 from it. It's just stuck in there with the rest of the crap that I haven't looked at in the last 2 years. Oh, so much fun. All right, we got some other things to get to, so let's do that in a moment. Let's take a break. Halftime returns right after this.
The President of the United States only gets 4 years. And we're giving Sam Pittman 6 years. Well, there you go.
This is halftime.
I tell you what, I know this. Got a lot of guys with some big hearts. For 3 hours or however long, maybe 4 hours, we're the best team in the country today. And it's offense, defense, and special teams. It's some guys like Darren McFadden, baby. Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4. We got that wood right here, baby. Somebody better look at this guy, the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May, number 5. You better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients better lives with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, now offering same-day crown.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball, NHL to UFC. Head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s
faster than green grass through a goose.
Bacon? Never would have thunk it.
Yup, and they come right to the river's edge when I call them too. Woo! Fish suey!
Oh, blessed Billy. All right, son. Have fun fishing.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Blessed to serve you. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Way back when in '67, I was a dandy. Sweet dreams from Boston, so young and weary.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry also joining us here on Halftime through the end of the show. You can get on with us at 877-377-6963. Nobody has gone into the transfer portal from Arkansas football today. We do know about Braylon Russell taking his name out. So that's a good thing right there, right? I mean, all the news supposedly is bad, but there is good news here. When we got off the show yesterday, Matt, Russell was in the portal. When we get on the show today, he's not in the portal. So it isn't all bad news. That's a guy that's a star in waiting, or at least appears to be.
It's going to be interesting to see who we go and get. I think a thing to remember is we got Jaquindon Jackson last year out of the portal, and 2 years ago you got Armstrong, and it was from a smaller school. So there's definitely – I don't know who else we have left that's any good that could go. I mean, the thing is that hurts you, I think, Phil, a lot of these guys that have left are kind of your better players. I mean – if Kudus is healthy, I think he's our best offensive lineman, our most talented. Luke Hawes can play for anybody in the country. You look at the Metcalf brothers. Metcalf is a beast. I mean, that dude's going to be Satania. He's an SEC guy. Is it is it Jalen Braxton, the cornerback? That dude play for anybody.
Well, they've all had their warts. Injuries, that keep them from fulfilling potential. Haas was out last year with a broken collarbone for most of the year.
Yeah, I think he's played 17 games in 2 years.
Yeah. and then he's been on the field, off the field with back injury this year. I mean, what you would say about Kudus is the same thing. He has not played his best football, and you think there was a little glimpse of it late in the year against a couple of teams. But he had the back injury, which for an offensive lineman, that's a suspect thing. You don't know how that's. Usually, back injuries don't just disappear forever. Once you get issues with herniated disc, nerve issues down there, pulls, whatever, it keeps you from playing your best football. Braxton, the same thing. A knee injury that kept him off the field the whole year. He really looked good in flashes last year. Back to Satania, injuries. He had one unbelievable play that turned the game at Auburn, and every once in a while you saw flashes of the speed, but you also saw, drops, fumble punts, issues there. You love his speed. It's SEC speed. It's world-class speed. But his hands haven't been what you'd want it for a wide receiver. Again, you hate to lose guys when they still haven't peaked. Their best football is out there somewhere. But I think if you're coaches, you put you list the the pros and cons. You list the salary. You list how you want to spend your money, and the player then looks at it, and it's like, is this what I thought I was going to get? And then you make a decision. The portal. There's a lot of money out there, unbelievable amount of money, but there's also a lot of talent in the portal, and I think you just have to be patient. And you saw what they did as far as replacing players and bringing them in, and how that panned out. And then you make judgments. That we'll know middle of January what we think of this, but I don't look at where they came from to judge what their ability is. They don't have to be Power 5 transfers to pass metal with me. And I'll go back to watching Monday Night Football, and those players identify themselves, and you say, oh, that's Ohio State, that's USC, that's LSU, that's Alabama, that's Georgia. They say where they're from. And then about, couple of times a night on each team will have a guy that's like from Hilldale College or Texas A&M Commerce, or like what you said, Matt. And the talent is out there, and you have to do a great job in evaluation. But you've got tape for these players. You've got you got a Louisiana Tech guy that's in the portal, and I sit there with Bo Mattingly during that game, and I said, hey, there's a defensive tackle down there that's just kicking butt. And you got to evaluate the Louisiana Tech players and the Alabama Birmingham players against your own guys. You scouted them on tape, you saw them play against your team, and then you watched the tape. So the evaluation tools are there to find these players.
I think about, you'd ask who else could you lose here in terms of receivers or tight ends. Jordan Anthony is pretty much the one guy returning who made a dent last year in the passing game. And you want to keep C.J. Brown around because I think there's something to build on there too. But no tight ends have even made a catch that'll be with you next year. Well, I guess Shamar Easter caught one ball. Must have been the UAPB
what about,
game.
Posk, he's not done yet. He caught a couple of touchdowns against
3 passes, but does he have 1 year left after this?
I think so.
Okay, so it'll be 1 year left for Poshka. Getting your running backs back, and Jackson's going. He's getting ready for the NFL. Still don't know about the bowl game situation, but having Dubinion and Russell back, and maybe Rodney Hill, Terrell Reed, and your quarterback who's a good runner too. So there's continuity in terms of that. But we were also, I remember last month, Matt, we were just trying to look ahead to spring ball and thinking, keep your offensive line together, keep them together, and they're going to get a lot better just by being next to each other for another 8, 9, 10 months. And now two players that I know they wanted to keep. The way that Sam talked about wanting to convince Braun to use his last year of eligibility. And obviously they tried to do Kudus a solid by redshirting him. You're not going to get that continuity, at least not amongst the 5 players, but hopefully you can keep the other 3 starters.
You got the tackles. I mean, it's there's a lot of schools in the same situation. Yeah.
But we wonder. There's a lot of schools that are in this situation, but it happened so quickly at Arkansas that now it's a sense of, well, who else can go? I mean, this is about the same amount of players they lost in the portal last year. This happened over the course of 3 days once the portal opened. So, I mean, if I could try to spin it in a positive way, maybe now that they know exactly what it is they got to go after, and the offers are going out too.
Yeah, I think that you better get used to it, and I don't think it's going to change. I think the portal is what it is, and I think I looked around, and Texas A&M they lost 30, didn't they, last year? I mean, of course they had a coaching change. Texas lost 25 to the portal. A lot of these are walk-ons. You have to really be careful. I think the fact that there's some returning starters, 7 or 8 or whatever it is, that's where you focus. But the overall number includes a lot of walk-ons, a lot of guys that, okay, they've been in the program for a year or two, and they know it's not going to be their time. And it's so the walk-on route has changed dramatically, Phil and Matt. The idea that you're going to go and, when there's a vacancy or when there's some injuries, for top-line players or guys that go to the NFL, and all at once you've got a gap and you've been there 3 years, and that's your chance, like a Burlsworth or a Doty, to step in. It's Stephen Parker. That's not there anymore because they're just going to go get a fourth-year player out of the portal. So the walk-on route, and that's where you're going to see, in the overall number is staggering in the portal, but it's about, it's at least half walk-ons. And their heart's been broken because they realize that they're toiling with no shot. Because they're going to go get somebody that's played, that's mature, that has a lot of snaps, or has been at a Power 5 school in a backup role, scholarship, a guy that that's what's so sad about the portal is that it robs your walk-on program of an opportunity for the future.
877-377-6963 if you want to hit on what's going on or what hasn't happened in the portal today, because right now nothing's really happened as far as that's concerned. Can you change how this all operates? Bowl season is much different because of the portal and the opt-outs too, but it's not just opt-outs, it's portal as well. Kiffin yesterday is talking about it's stupid the dates that we've got all these figured out for, and it's supposed to be based on having the ability, I would think, to register for classes. But I just don't know if you can change these dates. They've given you a spring portal window to try to make those changes when they become evident during the spring. But I don't really know where it is you can put the portal while still admitting that these are football teams with schools attached to them and the players are expected to be students too.
I haven't heard anyone come up with an idea that I think would stick and work. I mean, because I think there's some brilliant minds, and there's, the NCAA, I think they feel like their hands have been tied, that anything they come up with, a lawyer or a judge is going to shoot it down. And I mean, to me, it's the powers that be have given up because they just don't see a solution. And they all, and we did an interview, 2 or 3 weeks ago with Ken Hatfield on the morning show. And it's like he'd like to get people in the room to figure it out. Well, there's people smart like Ken that have been in the room and they don't. And they're in with a lawyer, and every time they come up with something, it's like that won't fly in court. That won't fly in court. And Congress is not interested in any of the fixes that have been presented to them. And it's all let the players have the money, and we're turning them loose.
Well, I mean, Matt, you belong to a players' association that. In the NFL, that's the reason why you've got a salary cap and a system, and it's two sides that negotiated this whole thing out. That's why the NBA works the way it does. NHL, Major League Baseball is a completely different system, but they've negotiated this out. The players who are the plaintiffs in this all-encompassing antitrust lawsuit sent a letter to the judge yesterday. And they are asking, or more than anything, demanding an association for players in college sports and the ability to collectively bargain. That, to me, is the thing that brings it all together. That's where you can start to play around a little bit with the calendar. That's where you can start to play around a little bit with rules, with guidelines that can actually be enforced.
Whereas a group, they might give on one item. They might give.
I feel like the universities would like anything other than that. It'll end up, if the judge agrees to this, being forced upon them. But Matt, that's what it is. It's an association. It's a union, and it's not a bad thing for sports.
Well, and to be an agent, you have to, there's a prereq you have to go through, and I don't think these kids now that it's just anybody's buddy can be their agent, and they can ask for, there's like 1 to 3% is what an agent gets for your playing, and then 10% is what they get for your marketability. There's just different things you go, and this isn't even pay for play. College isn't. It's just pay for image. It's the weirdest thing. And I wonder, Clay, we were talking earlier, you look at Arkansas, the way they finished the last 2 years, I mean, just piss poor. If you want to be honest, the last few years, we don't finish good. Is it because the players already know? They already, those last 4 games of the year. I mean, what is Arkansas's record against an SEC team at home the last 2 years? Like 1-7, and you're not doing anything good?
That's an interesting line of thinking, and it might be that you're onto something, but it's for sure a bad spiral, and I think that you look around and Ole Miss they kind of flopped in some games where it's like, all right, is Andre Harris, is he want to play or is he waiting for the NFL? Their best player. And
I think we saw it the year before with Rocket when he was here. He didn't want to go play. He wasn't feeling right. If you're not feeling right, then it's kind of like, everybody's saying, hey, you look at Cam Rising.
Protect yourself.
He's about to get another year of college football eligibility to play, and you're just thinking he was a freshman when Trevor Lawrence was a freshman in college, and the dude's still playing.
If I was Utah, I would have another path. I wouldn't count on him. Because he just his wheels don't work, his shoulder doesn't work. I mean, he's a broken quarterback. He might surprise, but I wouldn't. If I was Utah, I wouldn't bank on him leading us to the promised land.
You know how things are in clubhouses and locker rooms, Matt. Somebody's going into the Utah locker room and they're putting a pair of crutches in Rising's locker for the next time he walks in there because he needs them. I mean, it's just how it is. Don't forget about the great specials going on at Fish City Grill. Chimichurri shrimp tacos right now, topped with avocado crema, pico de gallo, cheddar jack cheese, and cilantro. Fish Witch sounds delicious. Beer battered haddock comes with dill, tartar sauce, lettuce, and cheddar cheese. Make sure to ask about the new Mystic Mermaid oysters. It's topped with cucumber lime mignonette. You find nothing like that in Northwest Arkansas. Fish City Grill, 2003 South Bellevue Road, Rogers. 479-636-8833 to get your Fish City Grill curbside pickup or delivery. You can go online as well for an order, fishcitygrill.com. We'll break. More halftime right after this.
Coverage is presented by Futrell Marine. Futrell Marine has Kawasaki Ridge and Ridge XR side-by-sides, offering peak premium performance that can handle whatever the outdoors throws your way. Gear up at FutrellMarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
It's been waiting for you. Welcome to
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sportsbook in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Harry Douglas here, and if you're constantly on the go like I am, then earbuds are a priority. That's why you need Technique's new noise-canceling AZ80s. Like you, these buds work as hard as they play. You'll get Technique's legendary high-res audio, along with state-of-the-art noise cancellation, so you can stay in your zone. Visit us.techniques.com/sports to shop for AZ80s now. That's us.technics.com/sports.
This is halftime.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job.
But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours. Or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker Neuson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker Neuson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker Neuson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500. Come join ESPN and Trailer Honda from 11 to 2 this Saturday for a special day of fundraising for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Center. Come join us for cookies and Dr. Peppers and help collect diapers, baby bottles, formula, or even cash as we try to win the friendly competition against Road Chevrolet. All donations are for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Care Center here in Fort Smith. All donations are appreciated. See you Saturday from 11 to 2 at Trailer Honda.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Did not shoot the dead. Sheriff, I didn't shoot the dead. All around my home, they're trying to track me down. They say they want to bring me in guilt for the killing of a deputy, for the life of a deputy.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Oh gosh, we have a. Is this taking lawmaking a little bit too far? There is a Ohio State representative named Josh Williams who introduced a bill yesterday at the Ohio State Capitol that would classify planting a flag at Ohio Stadium around a Buckeye football game as a felony. It's called the OHIO Sportsmanship Act, and it is obviously in response to Michigan trying to plant their flag at midfield. This bill states, no person shall plant the flagpole with a flag attached to it in the center of a football field at Ohio Stadium of the Ohio State University on the day of a college football competition, whether before, during, or after the competition. Whoever violates this section is guilty of a felony of the 5th degree. There you go.
Well, maybe they need to change their majors because you can't plant a flag on a turf field. What are they doing, man? Like, come on. Let's go to college. Kids go to class. You can't plant a flag on it if it's not a grass field.
Doesn't quite work, does it? It's taking state government just a little bit too far. Work on your NIL laws.
Won't they pass a rule if their team loses to Michigan, they're all felons?
Yeah, play better when you're a 21-point favorite.
Well, we're kind of looking at Ryan Day as a felon.
If he doesn't, we hadn't. I mean, we talked about it, but if let's say they lose, let's say they don't make it, is he gone? I mean, is you looking at that Michigan game? He talks about that being the biggest game that they play, and he's 1-4. I mean, if he wins a national title, obviously he's there. But what if he loses in the first round?
But that's what it takes.
Could beat Tennessee's defense. They could beat Ohio State.
Yeah, they're not real happy with James Franklin at State College. They're at Penn State. If he loses at home to SMU, they'll be after him too.
Ooh, Clay. That's another one that's kind of. Phil and I were talking about yesterday. What road team do you think could actually give somebody a what for? I think SMU they could play. I mean, their physicality. They were physical with Clemson.
Yeah, and especially in the second half. I mean, and they there is so much taunting of SMU. Like, well, they would lose by 3 touchdowns to Alabama. I mean, Alabama didn't impress me this year. This is not your daddy's Alabama. And Milroe is. He was wildly inconsistent. I mean, about 4 times a game, he just threw it up over the middle. It's what's the old adage? The one place that you don't throw it when you're in trouble, you don't throw it high over the middle. He did, and it usually got intercepted.
I think in terms of first years, though, DeBoer did fairly well at Alabama comparatively. But of course, he didn't inherit like an empty cupboard.
Shula, your boy Mike Shula, who was an Alabama coach, I think one of the last times we beat them down there, he was their coach. He just took the OC job following Dow Loggins, South Carolina.
Yes, he did.
Like he's
moved right out of the analyst position to offensive coordinator.
I think he was a coordinator for the Carolina Panthers the year Cam Newton won his MVP and they went to the Super Bowl and lost. I think he was on that quarterback coach or a coordinator.
I think he's talented in some respects, but I always watched those Alabama teams, and they had everything but a tailback one year. I mean, they had the best looking offensive line and had what you wanted on defense, but they had no running back, and I mean it was pedestrian. But that was as a head coach, right? I mean, he was a head coach at Alabama.
He was only there for 3 years too.
Yeah,
that did not last long.
Yeah. Did somebody go and then I thought Saban might have followed him. Maybe they had like Francona from TCU.
I think Saban was the guy after
followed
him.
Shula, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Where was Mike Price in there somewhere? Dennis Francione.
Yeah. Francione, that's who I was thinking. Yeah.
It's just funny sometimes thinking about those dalliances with Alabama, and it didn't necessarily work out with him. With Price, it was a different thing. He never coached a game for that
never
team.
Got to coach.
Shula was there 4 years. 4 years. He had a 10-2 season the year before he got canned. 6-6 at Alabama will get you canned.
Mm-hmm.
2 6-6 seasons. He had 2 of them. I guess we've seen 2 in the last 3 years too. Bit of a different situation, though. A little bit of a different situation. The flag planting law, which I would just be, are you really going to pass a law like this? That has upset some of our listeners here. Hayden says, tell me you're soft without telling me you're soft. I think that's actually telling you you're soft. Ryan thinks some people just need to have their ass whipped in this world. I guess he's talking about this state lawmaker. Seth thinks to roll a pole out there that's embedded in a tire full of concrete. There you go. That's a way to actually keep it down. That's how you keep some of those basketball
We're
hoops
not
down
playing
in
it.
concrete.
We're just rolling it out.
Yeah, Price was the guy that replaced Francione. And then it was Shula after him, and then it's Saban. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach, so stop asking, something like that. 877-377-6963. Yeah, that is the last time Arkansas beat Alabama, Matt. You're right.
Don't you figure that Saban has a 400-page manual just like Belichick?
I do. I figured that anytime there's a question that has to do with anything in that building, I think he has an answer and he has it thought out and has a reasoning behind it.
Chris Mortensen told me this, and his son Alex was on Saban's staff, and they had a manual on how to prepare day by day, minute by minute for the playoffs. Like when they got through with the SEC championship game, the next day was in that manual, and then it went. You just went by it, so that like his staff would change from year to year. You had the manual, and so as soon as the SEC championship game and they were in the playoff more times than not, that you just went by the manual, and it logged everything that you were going to do. And I bet you Georgia's got that because he would have brought it from Saban. They are creatures of habit. So the fact that Belichick has that, Saban and Belichick are cut from the same cloth. I mean, I think they're buddies. It's about the process, and so you have a manual.
Well, you walk into a job interview and you have a 400-pound manual, a 400-page manual. I've got a 909-page book right here called The Source. Do you drop it on the chancellor's desk like this, just like that, just to actually
absolutely
make a point? Look at all the work I've done here. This is how much I want the job, just like that. I think I tore the book. Might as well be 900 pounds with that sort of sound.
I think those coaches, when they go for interviews, they have their playbook. They've got something like that. I think that they've worked on that. They've copied it. They have it from, you've been at three stops. You have all that information and you compile it, and you've got a GA that's what he does is he puts that together for you. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, in fact, if you don't have that, I think the ADs or the search committee is like, what's wrong with that guy? He doesn't have a book. He doesn't have a manual. He doesn't. He's just going to wing it. I want to see his system. I've seen Petrino's playbook. It's a load to carry around. I mean, you don't really need to go lift weights. You just carry that around.
I mean, I could do the same thing with The Source. That was enough. I got
What's
other
the
thoughts
source?
on that.
Give me more information, Phil. What's the source?
I think it's basically the story of the Jewish people.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know.
900 pages worth. There's probably another, 1,000 pages worth to write since this thing came out. I got other thoughts on this Belichick thing with this. Manifesto is a good word to use here, but usually you're writing about something that you've done before. And he hasn't been a college coach. It's not to say that he can't be a college coach and can't be a really good college coach. It's just he says this is an NFL model, and I do wonder a little bit about this.
But he could call Saban and get his and add a few documents.
But what you can do now, what
what
Belichick had at with the Patriots was nearly unchecked power as the guy that was making personnel decisions and everything. And I just wonder if that's, you want to go into the Cowboys and everything. Guess who's making the personnel decisions there? You can make the personnel decisions as a head coach in college because you are the general manager at the same time. You're the guy that's making those choices. So he might be looking at it that way.
I wonder, too, do we really think, I know it gets thrown around that he's the GOAT, but his record without Tom Brady's not very good. So
Right.
you look at everywhere he's been without that quarterback, and yeah, that was amazing. That was a time period, but you look at Andy Reid, he wins everywhere he goes. You look at Mike Tomlin. I don't know that you just necessarily think Belichick is the GOAT.
Yeah, but he might be excited to be able to operate without a salary cap.
For now. All right, we got a break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 2 right after this.
When Matt Jones and Houston Nutt teams were playing back in the day, if those guys had 4 wins on their record at the end of the season, they still got in there and they beat the tar out of everybody.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google, Yahoo it, or Bing it. Jazzco Graphic Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Ty Richardson, we're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
He stood there bright as the sun on that California coast. He was a Midwestern boy on his own. She looked at him with those soft eyes so innocent and blue. He knew that then he was too far from home.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
And you just scroll down on the 247 Sports transfer portal site here, and it just keeps coming, and they keep coming on, and there's more players added to it on a regular basis. Some players are making their commitments known too. I've seen some of these here. A&M just got a quarterback, guy that we saw with UAB, Jacob Zeno. You remember him? He actually played pretty well against Arkansas. I think he played 3 or 4 years at UAB. And is now going to be, I'm assuming, I don't know if he'll start, but I'm assuming he's been told he'll be given the opportunity to start for A&M, so you may see him again next year.
That Marcel Reed, I think, is he the quarterback they had that was?
That's right.
He's kind of a change of pace guy. Yeah, I mean, hey, when you got enough money, I bet the backup quarterback at A&M was making decent bread.
Yeah, but those guys may be leaving now that they see that they brought in their
replacement.
replacement.
I mean, you got where is the communication? Where's the relationship? Is there not an open communication?
Yeah, you don't get a raise.
Yeah.
I didn't get my raise.
Do you think that happened with any of these players, Clay? Yes.
I think it's probably money related. Yeah, I mean that's you can't interview them. Nobody does any interviews anymore. It's you can't in what would you believe that they tell you that they some of them it's just time for a change, time for a new scenery. They're doing it because they can. Sometimes somebody asks me, well, why'd you do that? I guess because I can. Whatever.
There was a moment that Fernando Carmona, and I don't remember where it was that he said this, but I remember him talking about this, is that we do there are renegotiations once the season is over. It's an annual thing now. Renegotiations when the season is over. And when you see all these players jump in right when the portal opens, money has to be an aspect of it.
They used to call them exit meetings, which meant exit at the end of the season. Now they really are exit meetings.
That's right. We move into hour number 3. No guests except you, us, and that includes Hall of Famer Clay Henry. 877-377-6963. We will be right back.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Hey River Valley, Yeager's Ace Hardware is now open at 942 4th Street in Bartley. Conveniently located minutes from Fort Smith and Chaffee Crossing, Yeager's is your locally owned hardware and lumber store. Come by and visit with your Yeager's experts today and check out our new space packed with all of your hardware essentials. Open 7 days a week, the folks at Yeager's Hardware are committed to serving the River Valley for all of your home improvement and hardware needs. Yeager's, real help, real savings.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Arkansas-Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. To ensure your heating system runs efficiently, schedule regular maintenance with a licensed technician. For more energy and money-saving tips, visit aogc.com/winter. Arkansas-Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. And, health allowing, set your thermostat a little lower. For more money-saving tips, visit aogc.com/winter.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook.
With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. It'll be quite breezy today with northwesterly winds 15 to 30 miles per hour. Mainly clear, a cold one tonight, overnight low in the upper 20s. Back to sunshine, a high in the low to mid 50s on a Thursday and Friday. Chance of showers back in the 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got to take it in here. That's the perspective. If I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones, man, take it to the house. And the dunk.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Halftime continuing here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. 1 minute after 1 o'clock in the afternoon with Phil Elson, me, Matt Jones, him, the one and only Hall of Famer Clay Henry as well, and C45 Colton Little taking over in the producer's chair. It is just us for this next 60 minutes, so you can get with us anytime you want. 877-377-6963. There's a lot going on. Right now in sports, the baseball winter meetings are in, I believe, their second full day in Dallas. Looks like the Red Sox may be acquiring Garrett Crochet from the White Sox. He was one of the only reasons the White Sox didn't lose every game they played last year. And there's also a forum going on. The Sports Business Journal has a forum happening right now in Las Vegas. Get a load of this number here from Texas Athletic Director Chris Del Conte. He claims that 18 schools in Division I college football account for 65% of the television revenue. I'm not exactly sure how it is you break that down based on the revenue, but if you're going by the ratings, we could kick around how many of those 18 schools are. It's just they're basically almost all, if not every single one of them, in the Big Ten or the SEC, except for Notre Dame.
Yeah, when are we going to lose our emblem? I think of this stat is one of the craziest stats I've ever heard. So Manchester United gets $500 million to wear that bow tie on their jersey. I mean, they wear the Chevrolet logo and they get $500 million because their thought is they're going to play in big games. They're going to play in the Champions League. They're going to have their marketability. They're going to be in part of those 18 teams. And so when do we start as you see in the NBA, they're kind of doing it a little bit where they kind of have somebody's logo or somebody close by, but college, we got that Walmart logo on the field. How much do you think they're paying for that Walmart logo on the field?
I think they said it was $5 million. I don't
$5
remember.
million, yeah.
Might have been the number that I heard.
So this is an interesting thought when you're talking about brand, emblems, whatever. So the Razorback logo, since John Calipari has become head coach, is become huge. So they set all kinds of record numbers for that Illinois broadcast on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know how many sets watched.
Does Coach Cal
the
get
Arkansas game
tattoos?
last night, but that was a great game to watch.
Or of
last
his
night.
religion, if he doesn't do it, I know he's spiritual. Is he Catholic? Is that what Coach Cal is?
He's Catholic. Yes, devout Catholic.
If you could get him to get if we win the national title and he gets a Razorback tattoo, woo.
It would have to be a slobbering hog since that's
my goodness,
in the middle of the court now.
Man, everybody would have a Razorback tattoo.
Yeah,
well, that's one of the things I was thinking last night watching that game. This was the premier game, college basketball. It wasn't a
it was a
Monday
hell
night
of a game,
and it was a great game too.
There was NBA talent on the floor.
Yep.
That's right. How many people were watching that? And it's like I saw on Twitter, a lot of people were like, "My gosh, look at how many! Listen to how many Razorback fans in there, and look at how much fun this team is." But I feel like this is what you get when Cal's the coach. You're going to play these neutral site games against big name opponents, and they're going to be televised nationally, and a lot of people will watch.
I showed up to do the post-game show, but I was like Nick Saban without my badge. They didn't let me in, But I wrote down in my notes how awesome the game was. Just watching the talent, the back and forth, and Michigan goes on this run and hits 11 straight field goals, and you know what Arkansas doesn't do? They don't blink. That's twice, Phil. That they were down to Miami. Now I know Miami's not a good team, but that's back. And so you hope that's not kind of the recipe, or that's going to be old hat. But that's twice they've been down. That's a lot for a team to know. Hey, we're down 15. We're down. All right, let's turn it on. We can get going. Now a lot of things have to go right for you to do that, but to me, it's encouraging.
I thought that there were highlight reel plays by both sides from start to finish. Oh, yeah. And if you were there, and I have talked and gotten texts from people that were there, Arkansas fans, that said it was as fun a night if they've had at a Razorback event in a long, long, long time. And I mean, it just kind of struck me after the game listening to John Calipari. That's 28 times he's had teams. Now he had UMass teams. That's just right up the road, and they would be playing at Madison Square Garden for events. But Kentucky and Memphis, I'm sure, all played there. He's going to continue to play there. He wants to take his teams there. But it was a show, and he's the ringmaster of the show right now, and he looks comfortable in what he's doing, and he knows he's got a plan for the team.
Does it bother you at all?
We all see it.
Does it bother you at all that a couple of his Kentucky coaches still wear blue out there? Like that they're not, and even Coach Cal, he didn't have any red on yesterday. That looked like a Kentucky. Does
and
that?
A blue
do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think? And then his couple guys on the bench, that you kind of have some Kentucky guys. Does that, as a Razorback fan, it doesn't bother me. I'm not, but as a Razorback fan, don't you want to see those guys in some type of Razorback stuff?
I mean, he always looks sharp, so I'm going to give him that. And that jacket was it a, what do you call that pattern? It's not plaid. It's a houndstooth. So you're gonna have a lot of colors in there, and anything, any handkerchief would probably be appropriate in there. You could wear any color. But hey, he can. If you win, you can do whatever you
wear whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, you can tell some of the Arkansas coaches, and you can tell the Kentucky guys that came over by the color, because they still haven't they're still not really.
The blue handkerchief stood out to me a little bit. I thought
the guy sitting on the very corner of the bench had an all blue suit on. Yeah, it was like he looked like he was a Kentucky coach. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I mean it was blue, and it was. I mean. You wear dark blue, and you wear navy. Everybody's got navy blazers. I got navy blazers. I shouldn't say blazers. I have a navy blazer. I mean, I'm limited in the number of nice stuff that I have anymore. It's Matt. You and I know what I got. It's
Clay. We dress real similar, man.
Yeah, it's all for comfort and warmth. I mean, I want to feel comfortable.
Me too.
I've never seen Phil. I mean, maybe twice I've seen Phil Elson without. It's like Phil wears his T-shirts. It's always weird when we do a show out and then Phil has his like polo tucked in.
Got to put the collared shirt on. Yeah,
kind of feeling weird now.
That's dressing up.
I've seen Coach Cal in red enough. I mean, I think he's got some red.
No, it doesn't bother me. What I'm saying is I think it does kind of bother some fans though.
Now you can tell when I've got a big event to go to when I'm really dressed up. No hat. Makes me feel naked. Yeah. Tom's with us. He's in Missouri. Tom, thanks for calling halftime. What's going on?
Hey, not much. Just painting door frames.
I couldn't necessarily understand what you said. It sounded muffled. Try again.
Sounded like he was underwater.
With door frames. Painting door frames.
Painting door frames.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
doing
Well,
his
hey, you're
job.
working while you're calling. I
Got a
appreciate
tool
that.
set I can get you about half off.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. How come our coaches don't wear anything with hog attire on?
Oh, they do some. They do some. Yeah, I've seen them. I mean, he had a red and white checked jacket one of the recent games on TV. It was really nice. So he's got some stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I just
he
had
wore
this
a
picture
dark
in my
red
mind.
jacket at home one of the games. He's got
Yeah, but I
some
just had this
stuff.
picture in my mind because it was the first thing that we saw of Cal as the Razorback coach, which was like a Photoshop photo of him.
He was out in
a-
California doing first-
Yeah, in a red blazer, and
Maybe
I
it
just
was
I-
Vegas, but yeah.
I think I just expected he'd be wearing something like that for most of the games. But sometimes there's a coat with a red tinge to it, and then yesterday was a little different. But it's like you said too, win and you can wear whatever you want.
Nolan wore all colors. I mean, he wore every kind of color there was. He wore white suits. He wore white jackets. Wore dark. He wore everything.
I hope if we do any type of tribute or honoring, I mean, if Nolan's able to, if he comes to a game, I want to see Coach Cal in the Nolan cowboy boots, going out there. That would be just as a tribute, and he can even be like Buzz, your coach at A&M, who changes. He has a different wardrobe. He's like
Yeah, but he sweats through the whole thing.
The first time Nolan played in Rupp, it was against Patino, and they just beat the crap out of they had him down by 20 with 10 minutes to go, and I mean it was ugly. And Patino wore cowboy boots, the most uncomfortable. I mean he could hardly walk in them, but he wore them in tribute to Nolan, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it wasn't a copycat thing. It was, hey, I wore these in tribute to him, and they just beat the crap out of us. So I mean, be careful about wearing cowboy boots if you don't know how to walk in them. Just be careful.
Fellas, aren't we happy, though, that the fact that we still have the last Corleone, he's still well-dressed while everybody else is on the
last
quarter.
Corleone.
If everybody else is on the quarter zip and the jogger train, we still have a
I'd
guy
like
that
to
goes
see,
out there.
I like to see my coach.
and wears the nice.
I always thought, Tom Landry looked wonderful on the sideline with the fedora and a nice sports coat. And there's still some.
Didn't I see, Matt, your old coach with the Jaguars, Del Rio, he wore a suit on the sideline, I think, to honor
Hank Calistran, the coach at the Kansas City Chiefs. He did it. They did it 2 times that year. But Jack we always wore a suit. It's a business trip on road trips. It's you
Part
wear
of
your
the deal,
you
right?
wear your suit and tie, and it's kind of you start focusing up. When it's 24 hours out before the game, and you got your business suit on, and it's a work trip. You're not going out there to sightsee. You're going out there to try to whoop somebody up.
And nothing splashy either, right?
Well, I dressed like Men in Black, really. Like it was
Yeah,
just a black suit with a skinny tie and the same. Yeah.
Do you also have that kind of stick where you show it and put it up in front of somebody and click it? They'll forget whatever was right in front of them, just like the same thing.
That's
could use
I
that.
think I use it on myself too. Yeah.
I tell you what, too. It's like, and I come from the sport where the coach or the manager actually wears the uniform. It's the only one that I know of. Is there another sport other than baseball where the manager or the coach wears the uniform? I don't even think softball. I don't think Courtney wears a Razorback uniform during softball season. DVH, he's got it. He's got a uniform number and everything. Man, I love baseball.
Well, he just wears a pullover now, though. Yeah.
They should do it in hockey.
Yeah. Put some skates on the coach. Why not? Put a face mask on the coach too. It's like
hard.
I think it was one of the great lines by George Carlin in his baseball and football. I think it was Joe Torre can wear a baseball hat to the baseball game. Could you imagine if Dabo Swinney wore a football helmet on the sideline of a football game? They would truck him away. 877-377-6963 if you want to get on any of that with us. Remember, your Arkansas hunting license is your license to friendship, family, and fun. You keep our state's tradition alive and get your hunting license at huntnatural.com. Thanks to the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission for sponsoring our visits with Clay Henry on these Wednesdays. Halftime returns right after this break.
When Matt Jones and Houston Nutt teams were playing back in the day, if those guys had 4 wins on their record at the end of the season, they still got in there and they beat the tar out of everybody.
This is halftime.
On second down, the give is to Felix Jones on an end around. Jones to the 30 to 40. Jones in midfield. He may go. 25 to 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Felix Jones goes 72 yards. And the Razorbacks increase their lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Are you Christmas shopping for the hunter, the fisherman, the working man, the marksman, the archer? Then get down to Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Check out all the toys for all the boys, no matter what their age. Jelco Outdoors is your locally owned store for work and the great outdoors. Jelco gift cards are always a perfect fit. This Christmas, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Merry Christmas from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In my
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, Inside Carolina is reporting that UNC is finalizing the deal to bring Bill Belichick in as the head coach. You know, yesterday, Matt, we were bringing up, we didn't know if this had ever happened before. It has happened before, and I'd forgotten about this. Bill Walsh took over Stanford football for 3 years after he'd already won 3 Super Bowls, but he'd been a Stanford head coach previously before taking over the Niners, so he just kind of went back, and it has happened once. I think he was only with Stanford for another 3 years and had one good year, and then things kind of fell apart from that. It certainly didn't ruin Walsh's legacy, but it has happened before.
Chuck Fairbanks went from Oklahoma to the Patriots and then to Colorado, and he flopped miserably at Colorado. I saw him give up 82 to the Sooners, and the Sooners took it easy on him. It's like,
I think the long game too is Bill's going to be a GM for up in Chapel Hill, kind of that Andrew Luck role, because he wants his son. That's kind of the. I mean, you're kind of seeing the writing on the wall.
it is.
Yeah.
Clay, there was somebody yesterday that asked about, is there a general manager or somebody that has that role for Arkansas football? And I looked on the support staff site on the ArkansasRazorbacks.com, and it said Patrick Doherty is chief of staff. He's at the top of the list of support staff, but there wasn't, a job that said general manager. I don't know if that necessarily means that there's somebody that is not handling negotiations or anything that a football general manager in college would. You don't see that title on the list of support staff.
Yeah, as other schools bring somebody in, I've heard a clamoring, they need a GM. I don't know. I mean, it's like, if they name a GM, does that change your idea of what the program is? It's like, is he going to make a decision on a player or on a salary for a player above what the head coach? I mean, the head coach ought to make those decisions. I mean, I just don't. And maybe the GM does a better job of raising money, but if you've got the right head coach and the right athletic director, let them do it. But I guess the trend is, we got to have that GM.
Well, so this is getting into Belichick's mind here, just like we're trying to get into
on that. Yeah.
Well, it's like we're trying to get into the players' minds of why they're going into the transfer portal. Everybody's got their ideas, and I'm sure we will about Belichick. We would think that you stick to the thing that you've had your most success at, especially when you're it's like 2 good seasons away from tying or breaking the all-time record for regular season wins for an NFL coach. I thought that meant something to Belichick, but I also know that's somebody that's used to having complete power within the organization he runs. Worked for a guy in Parcells that rose to that level too, and I just don't see him getting that kind of power in the NFL. But you go to college and it's just expected. That's why he comes with this organizational Bible. This is how I'll do things as head coach, which is a different role in college than it is in the NFL. You're involved in some of that stuff, but you're not involved in all of it the way that a coach will be in college.
So why did Jimmy Johnson leave the Cowboys? Is because he didn't have complete control.
You're not going to get that kind of control with that franchise.
I understand.
You're just not.
That, but that's why he left.
Well, that's what they did to your boy Gundy out there. OSU Stillwater, they took all his power away. Said you're just a figurehead out here, just a hairdo now.
That's right. I mean, kind of. You know,
That's
and
the
looking
old
for
school way of managing, by the way. It's like we'll make it so uncomfortable.
Has there ever been a
that you give up.
team? Has there ever been? You're Phil. The questions you're asking. Has there ever been a team picked to go to win the Big 12 and then go winless? They didn't win a single game. We can't ever listen to what media people say. I mean, seriously, they were picked. We had their guy on from Oklahoma State, and they're talking about how good they are, and they won 0 games. It's all propaganda.
Yeah, and well, they returned all their players, but they stood pat, right? I mean, they didn't improve themselves. And I think that what we saw around the SEC and what we're seeing around the SEC in basketball right now is with NIL and with the portal, you shouldn't be standing pat. You should be going and improving yourself because you can. You know that you have the ability to go pluck and plug and play and grab, and they returned 18 or 19 starters, but they didn't really change. Everybody around them did, and this last year was the time when you could really improve yourself. I think Arkansas improved themselves, and whether they do again this year, that remains to be seen. We'll have a better feel in a month. I don't think we know it all right now.
I think C.J. Brown's going to play big next year. I think it's a good thing we got our quarterback coming back. I think that's as far as the people we've lost, or we got both our running backs.
Good running backs.
Yeah, oh, man. And so you got to find a tight end, got to shore up that offense. The thing is, I think back-to-back years, our offensive line has been our worst unit, even though they were better. And for whatever reason, hopefully we get this offense going just because the offense really, I mean, it's C-. If you want to give the offense a grade this year, I mean, they were C- at best.
Yeah, they put up yards but not points, and the turnovers were the reasons why they didn't put up points.
That's a turnover. If you lead the country in turnovers, I might have gave them too high of a grade. That's a D. You can't have 28 fumbles in 12 games.
Yeah,
great offense minus the fumbles. You can't go with minus.
It's a two-way sword. It's you had turnovers and you didn't get any. So the defense, if you go back to last year, I'm talking about 2023, they scored with their defense. And as bad as the Dan Enos offense was and as frustrated as we were with, say the 3 points against Mississippi State, for most of the year they stayed in games. I mean, the Texas A&M game, they mounted a comeback because of, pick six, they scored with defense, not just got a turnover, but they took it to the house. They didn't do that this year. So it's it's not just one. It's not just what offense did. It's that the defense didn't. They played hard and they stopped the run in a lot of games, but they just didn't. The secondary didn't get their hands on the ball enough, except for the Auburn game. And when you look around and you say, the guys, like the Metcalf brothers, I mean, the Auburn game was when they showed up. They didn't show up in a lot of other games. I'm sure they're frustrated that that they weren't rewarded, with a raise, and so that's their edge didn't come through in their mind. But it's the defense didn't produce turnovers, which is a huge part of what this season was about.
Halftime brought to you by WT Equipment with the best deals of the year going on right now on all their model year 2023 and select 2024 Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors. You can choose from 0% financing for up to 72 months or take up to $8,500 in cash back. You can also get a free loader with your purchase for a limited time. It's the best deals of the year going on right now through December 31st during Value Bonanza at WT Equipment in Springdale. Halftime's phone number is 877-377-6963, and we'll have more for the home stretch right after this.
Coverage is presented by Futrall Marine, your duckboat authority, proudly powered by Tohatsu Outboards. Tohatsu Outboards, feel the wind. Log on to FutrallMarine.com. And by Mock Legal Solutions, now in Fort Smith and Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Quality legal services for a low, flat cost. Call Jackie Mock at 479-769-1505.
That's ludicrous.
Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
It's been waiting for you. Welcome to New York. Welcome to
You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Looking for easy holiday gifts for the grown-ups on your shopping list? You're in luck, and so are they. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is a winner wonderland. Scratch-off tickets make great gifts and start at only $1, and players win more than $1 million every day. Share the gift of winning with everyone on your list. Give scratch-offs. They're easy fun with a chance of easy money. Join the Winter Wonderland. Gift, scratch, and win today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
New season, new faces, new stories.
The anticipation is through the roof.
NFL Plus Premium gives you more access to the sport you love. Watch future NFL stars take the field and never miss a moment of live football action this season. With live out-of-market preseason games on mobile and TV, game replays, NFL Network, and more, all in one place. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Come join ESPN and Trailer Honda from 11 to 2 this Saturday for a special day of fundraising for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Center. Come join us for cookies and Dr. Peppers and help collect diapers, baby bottles, formula, or even cash as we try to win the friendly competition against Road Chevrolet. All donations are for Heart to Heart Pregnancy Care Center here in Fort Smith. All donations are appreciated. See you Saturday from 11 to 2 at Trailer Honda.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
'Tis the season for Hardee's handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch buttermilk biscuits pulled fresh from the oven. The return of special traditions like salty sweet candied bacon. And faithful friends like Hardee's cinnamon raisin biscuits gathered near to us and served all day, all season long. From icing drizzled biscuits to savory charbroiled burgers, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. And now enjoy breakfast till noon. Available for a limited time at participating locations. Items may vary.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild in dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me. But I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes, not face no strange changes.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I really appreciate Seth and Rogers for setting us straight here with the John Calipari handkerchief situation. He sent us a photo from yesterday from, I think this is right off the Arkansas website. And you can see the handkerchief much more up close than you could have on television. And I think it's a handkerchief that basically mirrors the Jimmy V Classic logo.
Yes.
In fact, I think that's what that is. I think that's
is.
just a bunch of Jimmy V Classic logos
Yeah.
on a bluish handkerchief, and the Classic logo is dominated by the color blue. So
Yeah, so we get all alarmed about stuff. It's our paranoia. My wife sent me the same message just a little while ago, and I guess that there's some people that understand it. We didn't at first, but we react too strong, too much of the time, and the same thing is going on with the portal. There's a heavy duty reaction, and we don't really know where we're headed. We'll know a little bit more middle of January. Know a little bit more after the last signing day. There's another national signing day in February, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll finally get a complete list of guys leaving, guys coming. And then it'll happen again. After spring practice, there'll be guys that they have their tryout. They don't see themselves in the too deep or don't see, and there'll be another little exodus. And then we'll know middle of the summer. But right now we're just going to react, and I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying not to react too much on the handkerchief either. I'm glad that we have that information now. We can get it out there so that people can calm down a little bit.
And as far as what we saw on the court last night, this was, if you minus, I don't know, that 6-minute stretch in the first half, and then there was another thing that I wanted to get to as well. It was their best effort. I mean, as far as collectively and playing better, you saw some good things out of 9. I thought it was Boogie's best game as a Razorback in his young career. Did you hear when they said that college basketball is the only basketball on the planet that doesn't have 4 quarters? They have 2
I think they said it's the only sport.
Oh, yeah.
Not just basketball. I think it's the only sport. But soccer's got halves, right?
2 45-minute halves running clock, though. It's a little.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
No, that is kind of weird. Clay, I think people will, they look to be insulted. They can find something to be insulted about. This handkerchief situation is kind of the same thing. And with the portal, I think fans feel they want loyalty. They spend money on the team. They spend money on NIL. I think some folks feel that their money went into the players' pockets, so they expect some kind of loyalty in return. And it's just, it's not the college sports world that we operate inside. At least most of it. To me, it feels like maybe 10% of it is about loyalty, if even that. And it's I think it's a little naive to think that loyalty is going to be the thing at the top of the list when it comes down to it. Because who are you loyal to? Yourself first and foremost, and you're gonna. I think, and it's me trying to get into players' minds, which is a dangerous thing to do. You look for where you feel most comfortable. You look for where you might feel you are most appreciated, and sometimes that appreciation is shown in different ways. Sometimes it's shown in money, and that's a way that you can feel appreciated too.
I'm sorry about the dog.
Oh, well, she obviously had some comments on the basketball game.
Yeah, I had to.
Very excited about it.
I had to unplug the mic because the FedEx guy was delivering, and she goes crazy. She loves that guy.
Oh, does he love her?
Oh yeah, and there's the Amazon driver brings her treats at the front door.
Uh-huh.
Everybody loves Millie.
Basketball.
She's excited. I'm sorry.
Men's basketball has a general manager. Chris Woolard, but he came over with Cal. So, like, I don't know if Cal has a 400-page manifesto like Belichick that says this is how an organization is to be run if I'm running it. I would think Cal, after all these years of being a highly successful college basketball coach and a Hall of Famer, is it written down or is it all there in his head? And part of it is, I want this person to be, running things for me so I can just kind of worry about coaching. And that's an aspect that he would not have come to Arkansas if he was not, if there wouldn't have been the leeway to have somebody like that, consigliere, whatever it is you want to call it, a trusted associate or a general manager in this case, that have worked together with him for a long time now, 13 years at Kentucky.
I can remember talking to an assistant coach, a friend of mine that was in the business. It's when Nolan was, they won in 94, went to the Final Four in 95, and it was a Pac-12 school, sent the staff to Fayetteville to learn, kind of the Arkansas system. And, Nolan went through some things with them. He says, no, you just have to watch a practice. I don't have that, that written down. I mean, I coach decisions, and they just threw their hands up. I mean, they couldn't come back and watch practices in the fall, but but it's not written down. And I think that's the way some coaches are, they do have their system and they know how to coach it.
You learned a lot, as far as stepping up from high school to college and being around Nolan just for a couple months during the season, Clay. But his practices, you learn, if you pay attention and learn, you scrimmage, and then every time somebody, not every time, but when you make a wrong decision, he stops it, he coaches it, tells you that this is the decision, and then you continue on. It's a fast, hey, next time you get in this situation, this is what you do. Making the right basketball play, man. Nolan was really good. He was really good at that.
Well, yeah, I think he explained to the staff that's how we do it, and they were like, "Well, give us the playbook. No, that's not what we do." So, yeah.
DVH does the same thing with baseball, and I love pointing out sometimes, they work on these on all the situational drills, guys at first and third, and it's not just for the fielders, it's for the pitchers, it's for the base runners, it's for all of them, and it all becomes instinctual. It's so those decisions don't really feel like decisions anymore. It's just like, all right, well, that's happened. My body is trained to go this way.
Yes,
that's exactly right. You pick up you small things, and I point out the baseball thing. They practice base running because they're going to practice ball hit to the gap. Where am I looking? When am I picking up my third base coach? What sort of angle do I need to be taken to the base? All of this is instinctual. It's not decision making.
In the same thing, know your right fielder, know your left fielder, know his arm, know what he has. Same thing when you're reading a basketball scouting report. Know the guy likes to go right when he likes to drive to the hoop. Know if he goes left, that's when he likes to pull up and shoot. I mean, this is when you start learning how to how to be a professional.
So then there's also what you learn about how to be part of a program, and you hear so much of that, like a Kendall Diggs, who's going to be with Arkansas baseball now for a fourth year. All these new players coming in. Well, how does DVH run his program here? Well, follow what Kendall does. Watch this kid. He knows how this is operated.
Now you're coming down to what Dave calls the culture.
Right, and sometimes that's an overused term.
No, but I think Dave's culture is pretty obvious to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's also like in his mind, it's like, well, there's a manual of how you get this program to operate. He's only been a head coach now for going 35 years, so it obviously is instinctual to him. With Cal, it's the same thing. This manifesto that Belichick is putting together has never been tested in college sports. Never. All his thoughts about this are, or maybe this has worked in the NFL, and theoretically, because college football is becoming some sort of professionalized, thing, maybe it works here too. But that's the difference. Like with Cal, it's worked. With DVH, it's worked. With Belichick, he hasn't put this into practice in college right now.
Phil, I really believe that he knows what's going to work and what's not. And again, I'm going to go back to his relationship with Saban. Those guys are so close, and they've fed off each other. I'd be surprised if it's not a lot. I mean, that there's similarities with what Saban's got in his manual and his manifesto and his systems, in that they've bounced each other. Their ideas are the, similar and the same. But I mean, I really don't think he's guessing on whether it's going to work or not. I think he believes that it is, or he wouldn't have brought it with him.
I'm just trying to picture like his mentor Parcells doing the same thing. After leaving the Cowboys, be like, okay, I'm going to give college a try. Was Parcells
You
ever
thought
a
Del
college
Rio
coach?
was I think it's going around a little bit where they're analysts. They're able to help evaluate talent. Del Rio was at Wisconsin for a little bit. Chip Kelly got back in there.
Oregon,
yeah.
Philadelphia, then UCLA. And he gave up on the head coach gig though, didn't he?
Well, the way they're doing offensive coordinators at Ohio State, that's got to be a top 10 gig, right? Like,
Yeah, but that could also be a one-year thing if they don't win the national title, or if they lose to Tennessee and Day gets canned.
Hey, if they
it's
lose
a one-year thing for
if
him,
they lose to Tennessee, Phil, I think he will. Unless everybody says we're going to take one more year before this revenue sharing, or we want to see the landscape. But I think if they lose that first week, I think he's gone.
So I was going through stuff. I've got a stash of incredible my dad's files. Some of it's my files through the years. But there's a 1971 Arkansas football, Dave Campbell Arkansas football. And, it's got a lot of Southwest Conference stuff in there, but I'd say, 2/3 of it is just Arkansas stuff. And there's an interview my dad did, a Q&A with Frank Broyles. It's about 5 pages. And in it, he got into, hiring staff, and then there were questions from my dad about why he hasn't gone to the NFL and would he consider the NFL. And he said that it's the NFL is about systems, and the two-back system. Now it's changed a little bit, but he says there's no one that's willing to differ from the systems in the NFL, and it's really risky, and that's how you'll get fired. And that you don't play with a running quarterback because the quarterback is too valuable to risk. Well, now you see, teams playing with a running quarterback. Jalen Hurts being, a prime example of that. But he said you get your quarterback hurt and your season's over. So you don't do that. And he said that's why I'll never go to the NFL, because I believe that's how you defeat a defense, is with that extra running back that defeats zone and man-to-man defenses because of, and Matt, you've been there, you're running quarterback, and it just changes the blocking schemes. It changes the way the defense get. But it was interesting to read that from 1971.
No, yeah, and you got to kind of, even when I played, not as many teams made the playoffs. You got to try to win your division. So who we had to try to beat the Colts. You had the Titans and the Texans, but what the Colts were Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Marvin Harrison, and 2 rush ends that were, and Bob Sanders. I mean, so they get a lead and then they're pinning their ears back. They had Reggie Mathis. I mean, they dudes would just rush you. So you got to try to run the ball. And the other thing is, Coach Del Rio, you can't give Peyton Manning 10 possessions. So when you're going at it, if you give Peyton Manning 10 possessions, he's going to put up 40 points on you. You got to limit him, only give him 7. So you got to try to control the ball and be able to run the ball.
NFL structure makes so much more sense.
Divisions, and there's only 7 new players on an NFL team each year. The turnover is there's not my 4
I didn't
years.
realize it was that low.
My 4 years in Jacksonville, Clay, there were, and we had some good teams. We won 10+ games 2 different years there. There was only 7-8 spots open each year. Like there's not as many jobs open as you think.
Here we're brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, a dealership that serves our listening audience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for over 7 decades. You can find them at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, or online at crabtreerv.com. We'll be back right after the break, wrap up the show. Stay with us.
This morning I called in, and like when you call in, you hang up, you're like, wow, I'll just wait on Matt and Phil.
This is halftime.
Waldron Wave Rural Connect. Internet is now available in your area. Fast fiber internet and full-featured home phone are ready for you. This covers areas around Waldron, Bates, Winfield, Y-City, and more. Check out your address online today. The best whole home solution of internet and phone, all from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Happy holidays from Sharp Equipment. You may be eligible to take advantage of the year-end tax credits with buying a new Wacker Neuson before the new year. Sharp Equipment has excavators, skid steers, and other compact equipment in stock. Stop in at our yard location at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith to start your new year off right with a new Wacker Neuson. Sharp Equipment, ready to serve you in all areas of Wacker Neuson needs and more. Visit sharpequipment.com or call 479-649-0500.
Hi, I'm Truett Tollett with WT Equipment in Springfield. As the year ends, we're motivated to move inventory and meet all your equipment needs. Take advantage of year-end pricing on New Holland, Bobcat, Hustler, Steel, and more across our 8 locations in Arkansas and Louisiana. Stop by for a cup of coffee or visit us online at WTEquip.com. Thank you for your business, and we wish you a Merry Christmas, a safe New Year, and a prosperous 2025.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. You've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Have you ever met a girl that you tried to date? What a year to make love, she wanted you to wait. Let me tell you a story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation. The way that I met her was a tour at a concert. She had real long hair and a short mini skirt. I just got on stage dripping pouring with sweat. I was walking through the crowd, and guess who I met? I whispered in the air, come to the picture booth so I can ask you some questions and see if you're 100 proof. I asked her, and she said, blah, blah, blah. She had 9, 10 pants and a very big bra. I took a couple of flicks and she was enthused. I had, how you like the show? She said I was very amused. I started throwing back, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. Cause when I asked, do you have a man? She tried to pretend. She said, no, I don't. I only have a friend. You must be bugging. And this is what I'm gonna say. You got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. And you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
Would this be the official transfer portal song? Hey, you got all these needs, baby? You got what I need. You get some wide receivers, you get some tackles, you get some guards. That's what you need.
Cornerbacks, baby. Give me cornerbacks.
Cornerbacks, that's right. It's exactly what you need. We have an official theme song for the Warp Zone now, Matt. Congratulations. That's the C45.
That's a 40. Yeah, that's a 45 remix right there.
Absolutely a C45 production. Hey, I wanted to make sure we had a chance to wish our very good friend Ty Richardson a very happy 30th birthday. It's all downhill from here, buddy. It is all downhill.
The Scotty Thurman birthday.
We gotta find him a woman. I mean, he's getting old right in front of our face.
I think he's going to have to do it for himself, Clay. I tried helping him for
he's
a
already
couple
proven
years.
he can't. He's been
It
to
didn't
47 weddings with single girls all over, all dressed up, and he couldn't find one.
It did not take in the 2 years that he worked with me. So I don't know. Here's the thing, too, and I know, like people, I read the text line earlier, and everybody's sending in jokes about age and all of that. 30's nothing. Like, let's not make a big deal about 30 years. That's really not very much.
I got him by 40.
40 is when life really starts to get good.
No, I mean, I'm 70. I got him by 40. Yeah.
Well, you've got him by 40, but I mean, didn't life just get a lot better once you turned 40?
It did.
It did for me immediately.
Yeah.
Matt, can you vouch? You're newly into your 40s.
Man, life is so good. It's got to get worse. I mean, that's I don't
No, it
know.
doesn't.
My life's so good, it's got to.
No.
It'll get worse tomorrow, Matt. All you got to do is just wake up and get out of bed. As simple as that.
I think 40 is when I knew, all right, I really like Brussels sprouts. I really like this.
You start
I really
eating
like
things,
that.
yeah, healthy stuff.
It's like, I like that. That's good.
Start making broth.
What's
in the mornings.
Every day.
What's the age
Try
where
to
you
hang-
start to feel when it's about to rain in your knee? What kind of age is that?
I feel it in my toe though. I got arthritis in my turf toe, but as soon as you feel that rain coming, absolutely kind of gets a little bit stiffer.
25
JT.
was interesting because then I realized everything that my dad or my mom had told me was right. Till 25, I didn't believe any of it. I was like, no,
The older I get, Clay, the more I'm like very thankful for my parents. 100%.
They were telling you the right stuff.
That's right.
At age 29, I had life all figured out. At age 47, going on 48 in a little more than a month, I have no freaking clue what life is about now.
But
None
you're-
whatsoever.
You're getting ready
Hey,
for your
good
Daryl
thing-
Johnston. Yeah.
The good thing about 30 for me, I was over changing diapers. Didn't have to change diapers anymore.
You want to call me Moose on January 14th,
I
Matt?
think Darian Sharper's 47. You're in your 47. Right?
I've always wanted to be him. Great stuff today. Clay, thank you. See you Friday.
You're welcome.
You got it.
Look
One and
forward
only
to it.
Clay Henry. Matt Jones for C45. For Christian, I'm Phil. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get much better.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern